Hello guys and welcome. This is episode 28 of the extended Pentagon challenge, and we are still with Ulsan Hyundai and the national team of South Korea. I'll just fill you in. There's been a couple more signings for the club. Lorenzo Andrietta has come in, pretty good Italian midfielder. He's been allowed to come in because the striker that we got from Juventus, what was his name? It escapes me. Montalti. I've kind of lost a bit of hope. Kind of lost hope with him, and I've decided to take him out of the registration. So he's not playing anymore. We got Sanjay now in, who can play, so Andrietta can fill in, and Gustavo Medina, Panamanian. A 18-year-old when I picked him up, now 19. He's gone straight out on loan to Daejeon. I think basically I'll have him obviously go out on loan for quite a period of time, hopefully to other South Korean clubs, and maybe he can pick up South Korean passports, although obviously it's 1825, so that's about 5 years it's going to take to pick up, so that could take some while. Or at one point obviously he could be good enough to be part of the first team. He's certainly got the potential quality there. I noticed that last time actually I didn't show the league table. I will promise to do that after we've played, or rather we've shown the fixtures. Last we left you off, I believe we had just played Suwon FC and we won that game by 3-0. Next up was a derby against Pohang, and it ended all rather disappointingly as we drew the game by 3 goals basically. Alessandro Montalti actually performed pretty well in this game, got two goals and I gave us a 2-0 lead, but Kwon Namil responded in kind with 2 goals just before half time to create a kind of a tense situation half time of 2-2. Choi Kyung-rok with a penalty in the second half gave us the lead, but Kim Sang-chul 12 minutes from time got Pohang a point as we dropped points against rivals here, and a bit of a disappointing result really, considering we pretty much dominated. Seongnam next away, Daniel Chinchak, Song Ja-yoon and Choi Kyung-rok getting the goals. Park Yang-ju pulling one back for Seongnam, but all too little too late as we won the game out by 4-1 in quite an easy performance. Jeju next, we beat Jeju by 2-1. Lee Woo-young and Kwon Chang-hoon getting the goals. Chi In-ho did get an own goal, but we hung on for the victory as we moved on. Suwon, difficult game as always, 0-0 draw. We were marginally better than them, but it was pretty much a dire game where not a lot happened. As you can see, only 3 shots on target between the both teams, cancelled each other out, and 0-0 probably a fair result in the end. Next up, Seoul, and a really important win and a good win, as Seoul were losing their feet a little bit in the league. Park Hee-young, Choi Kyung-rok and Baek Sung-min getting the goals as we cemented a very nice victory over Seoul FC to take the points. Daejeon up next and a 4-1 win away, pretty regimental. Daniel Jinchak getting the first, Carl Abrantimo getting the second. Julian Schreiber did pull one back for Daejeon just before half time, but didn't really make much difference to us as Choi Kyung-rok and Daniel Chinchak got his second, as we ended up winners 4-1 on the day, and a very nice performance indeed. Next up was Gyeongnam, and again we obviously expected to win, and we did. Jinjak Sandra with 2 and Hong Chol getting 1 right at the death after Kwon Soo-hwan had been sent off for Gyeongnam. Gyeongnam only having 1 shot in the whole game. 4-0 pretty much a deserved result, as we pretty much stomped on Gyeongnam. Next up was Jeonnam Dragons. This would be the 4th time we were playing them this season, and this actually the first time they managed to get a win on us. Hwang Myung-yeon, Song Young-min and Jung Jae-won getting the goals for them. Park Hee-young did at one point make things 1-1, but in the end Junam winning. Didn't necessarily have the better of the play, but just seemed to have the more clinical finishing, and they won the game in the end, and that's all you can say about that really. Fourth round of the cup was up, and we got Busan Park in the cup, and Lee Woo-young, Daniel Chinchak and Carl Brantima getting the goals before Yoon Jae-yoon pulled one back, but all too little too late as we went through by 3-1, and Busan dropping out of the tournament. An important win next against Sangju. They were flying in the league and together with us, so it was pretty much first v second, and we got the victory in the end. Park Hee-young getting an early goal, cancelled up by Lee Won-jae of Sangju, but Daniel Chinchat 20 minutes from time getting the goal to give us the victory, as we took away some 3 very impressive points away to Sangju. We then equally as impressive was the 2-1 home win against Jeonbuk, and we were trailing through a Seo Myung-won goal before Park Hee-young responded, and 9 minutes from time Carl Brantima, he's been scoring a lot of goals recently, getting on the end of things, getting us the winner as we surpassed Jeonbuk on the day, and a very nice win indeed, as we really started to pick up some form. But the form actually stopped momentarily as Jeju and more importantly Peruvian Benjamin Galvez showed us a lesson or two. 2-0 loss to Jeju away. We really dominated the game, but in the end Benjamin Galvez was the difference, and his 2 goals helped Jeju to a famous victory. Pohang again, the return game in the effectively the derby, and again we couldn't beat Pohang. They got a very early lead through Kwon Namil. We responded in the first half through Kwon Chang-hoon, but that's how it remained. We had much the better of the chances, much the better of the possession, much better of the game, but it didn't account for much in the end, as we couldn't break down Pohang to get that second goal. Disappointing in the end. Daejeon in the quarterfinals of the cup, and we got a victory as Montalti, Carl Brantimo and Cha Hin-ho got the goals in what was a pretty simple game, as we beat Daejeon by 3-0. Gwangju up next, and a disappointing result really. Gwangju pretty much at the bottom of the division, not looking like they're going to be potential. They're definitely relegation candidates, I believe. And a 0-0 draw. We couldn't have really done more. We absolutely massacred them. But their goalkeeper did have a 7.6 rating. Actually, I think he got man of the match in the game. So a standout performance from Gwangju's keeper to keep us out as the game finished 0-0. Next up, we would have Seongnam, and Seongnam. It was a big victory as we really put them to the sword. Choi Kyung-rock, Song Jae-yoon, Park Hee-young, Sandro and Carl Brantimo on in the final minute, getting us the 5th goal. As Tessie Matumbu got a goal back for Seongnam, but a big victory as we really did put the screw to Seongnam to win the game. Our final game of the season was a tough game away to Suwon, which we in fact won. Sandro and Song Jae-yoon getting 2 goals in the first half to put us in a nice handy lead. We defended well. Enrique did eventually break open our defence, but it was all too little too late as we picked up the points. And that meant that by the time of the split, this is how the division looked. We were 7 points clear of Seoul, who had a wobble mid-season, so much so that they in fact sacked their manager mid-season. Jeonbuk 1 point further back, Sangju a point further back than Jeonbuk. Suwon and Jeonnam Dragons making up the top 6. In the bottom 6, Pohang will face Daejeon, Jeju, Seongnam, Gwangju and Gyeongnam in for that effective race to see who can survive and who's going to be relegated. So yeah, I mean, difficult games to come for us, but a 7-point lead puts us in good stead going forward. Moving on to South Korea, and we've had a few games with South Korea We played Morocco away, and I got a very handy 3-2 win actually. Park Yun Suk, who is pretty much the standout performer. He's an Inter Milan player, getting the penalty early on, and then Jin Dong Won quickly putting us 3-0 up in Morocco. He's now, I think, for Lequia, but last season got a ton of goals for Sevilla. He's actually been around quite a bit, 120 caps for his country, still to be called upon. They did bring themselves back into the game, Morocco, in the second half. Tariq Rafiq getting 2 goals, but a game we dominated and a pretty handy performance. I still have memories of Nigeria and losing to Morocco before the World Cup, so glad that it wasn't a repeat. Thailand were up next 4 days later, and a handy 2-0 win as Ko Jai Young got the opener. He is a player for Suwon. As you can see, pretty decent player in the midfield. And Cho Yo Jin was a player for Jeon Dragons, who got the second goal as we won out 2-0 in, again, a very nice performance. So the AFC qualifiers were drawn, and we got this group, so Qatar, Saudi Arabia, us and Lebanon. Eminently, I would say, actually a reasonably difficult group, because you've got Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Both teams probably able to pull off a win against us. As, mostly more than likely going to be more favourable to them at their own grounds. Lebanon obviously less likely to be able to pull up any trees, but this is not the simplest group to negotiate. So I'm actually hoping that we can calmly and I guess professionally go about our business and get through things. We started off well enough in terms of we didn't fall apart against Saudi Arabia away in Jeddah, a difficult place to go to, and Abdul Al-Harbi actually put them 1-0 up, and you can see Abdul Al-Harbi got some insane stats, like he's worth £37 million, probably the best player that Saudi Arabia have ever had in their history. He plays for Sampdoria, but just look at him, he's absolutely brilliant, by every standard. And as you can see, he kind of came from Al Shabab, went through Lazio, Galatasaray, back to Lazio, Zenit, Lazio, and then Sampdoria. And his goal scoring record is ridiculous, 8 million. That was a bad sale from Lazio, but yeah. So this guy's brilliant. So we were up against like a real world class player in Halabi. He got an early goal. Juju Young responded just before half time. Plays for Sevilla. He's probably one of the better players we've got in the team, and he's got us that equalising goal. And then Chu Yu Jin again, Jeon Dragons. He's actually performed very well in the striker role. Put us 2-1 up before obviously Al Arbi did respond. Yaya Farouz did get himself sent off, but again, you got a £10 million rated player in Farouz. So you look at Saudi Arabia's team, and you've got some actually very, very top quality players. You got this guy is 9.75 million. So Frank Rijkaard's the manager. So we are talking about a team that has some actual quality within it. So we'll have to watch ourselves. Anyway, 2-2 draw is a very good result away from home against Saudi Arabia. Next up, we'll have Qatar in a few days' time. But that will not be the live game we'll be showing you. The live game we've got is Hyundai Ulsan Hyundai versus Jeonbuk. And we will be looking, obviously, to its first game of the second round. And we kind of need to, obviously, attempt to win the game, because every game now is going to be difficult from this stage onwards. So before I do that, let me just show you, I guess, the player stats, and as you can see, the ratings. Sandro obviously has scored a lot of goals. He's actually now playing in the league, and he's doing very well. I can see why he's so highly rated. Song Jae Yoon, surprisingly, for the quality of player, doing very, very well. Very good rated in the league, and he's actually done remarkably well. Rock, this guy's just quality for us. He's got some brilliant stats on him in terms of playing stats, not necessarily in terms of attributes, but certainly he's done a good enough job. And Brantimo almost went to NEC Breda. I pulled out the deal last moment. This guy's a Sweden international. I just don't want to part company with him. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know when you're going to be able to replace a player like this. So he's done fantastically well this season as well. So good performances, and hopefully we can transfer that into a league win, which would be a fantastic achievement. So Lee, Tai Kyun, Jang John, so both centre backs out pretty much. That's a 19-year-old and an 18-year-old. Wow, this is not a good situation. This is basically having your fence pretty much open. Brantimo's away, so they're both away on international duty. That's a bugger. Sandro. In fact, look at the amount of internationals. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's problematic. Anyway, hopefully they've got the similar situation. We're gonna go attacking. I'm still learning the tactic. This happened with Melgar as well. Basically, it takes a while for the boys to pick up the tactics, and that has happened this time round too. Hopefully we can get the points here. I'm feeling the weakened side. I'm not 100% confident, but let's put this back so that we can see the game. Start up, and let's go to pitch side. So Ulsan in blue, Jeonbuk in the green, and we are on the way here in Ulsan. And kick out there from Jeonbuk. Kande picks up the ball on the wing and runs very quick. And what was that? A bit of a messy work there, but Sandro picks it up, and that comes to Yuntae. Yuntae to Chul. Yuntae. Sandro picks up with Yun. Yuntae been having a good season. The youngster Hoon. Tai feeds in Young. But somehow it's come back to Sandro, and Sandro finds the net. A bit of a mistake. It looked like it got away from the young striker Jung, but the ball deflected into Sandro's path, and that was enough to give Ulsan the opportunity to go 1-0 up early. And Andrietta, the Italian who's come into this team and performed so well so far, Yun. Sandro feeds in Young. Young can't finish, and Akande will be happy to put that away for a corner, as Ulsan all over Jeonbuk at the moment. And the ball out to Andrietta. Andrietta to Hoon. Young. Offside, but they weren't to know that, and that could have gone anywhere. Hyun Woo. Hyun. Say. Juan. Akande! Akande's put it over. That was a very good chance for Jeonbuk, and they probably should be level now. Akande absolutely flaunting a really good chance. And the keeper there having to get into action there. As Ulsan now on the ball. Andrietta, Hong Chul back to the keeper, Hoon, and Hoon up to Su. The signing from Jeonbuk, and he'll play inside to Hoon, but that's not going to go anywhere, and Yo Hwan can pick it up for Jeonbuk in the midfield. And it's a ball to Kande. Kande's kind of fortunate to come up with it, but he has, and he can use his pace now. Can he put a ball into the box? He has. That's a fabulous save from the keeper. The keeper basically point blank manages to pull off a save. Jeonbuk surely should have got that in the back of the net. But in the end, it worked out for Ulsan. Su on the ball, and that's not going anywhere. Poor passing there. Ho Andretta. Oh, but it's broken to tie. Yun feeds in Sandro. Sandro makes it 2. These dynamite at the moment, and Ulsan take double their lead just before half time. A few chances for John Book, but they didn't take them, and Ulsan have punished them for that as they move into a counter. And probably not many changes to be made really, apart from changing to a more reserved tactic. Trying to see if they can see this game out now. As we're up to the 65th minute, almost on the 70th minute now, and Juan crosses. Oh, Hoon's made an absolute. That's a disastrous effort there from the keeper. I don't know what he was thinking. Jang Jong Ho has ended up putting that in his net, but what on earth was the keeper doing? Didn't deal with the ball. Pathetic goalkeeping. And now we're back under pressure. Wu to Wu. Chiol to Young. Uysal, Nesip Uysal. Out wide to Akande. Akande got some pace. Kibok. Akande's in again. This is dangerous. Kibok. Oh, it's come across. It's 2-2. And would you believe it? Ulsan have thrown this game away. And it's poor, really, by anyone's standards, what's happened here. And Ulsan go back to standard. And just terrible. In so many respects. The goalkeeping, although he's got a 7, I don't know how he's got a 7. It's just crap. What a crap goalkeeper. Crap goalkeeping. It's going to end like this. 2-2, disappointing. Very disappointing. 2-0 up at half time. We go counter and it ends up we can't hold on. And we've got to be disappointed with that. That's poor. Very poor. Anyway, guys. Seem to have actually Seoul lost incidentally, so we've actually moved up another point, so we're now 8 points clear in the race for the title. By no means a done deal really. There is still how many games? 32, so there is still 9 games to play, so potentially 27 points on offer, and a draw against John Book is not the best way to start. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that. That was episode 28. We're still in South Korea and we're continuing. We'll pick up with you probably at the end of the season, actually, where we'll probably either show you, depending on what games come up, might be Champions League or a cup final or something like that. Anyway, by the way, in the Champions League we've got Al Hilal of Saudi Arabia. So that could be a difficult challenge for us. If we do happen to get through, we will face either Al Sadd or Seoul. So could potentially be quite a difficult tie next round. I think Al Sadd actually not out the last AFC Champions League, and they're actually the holders of the trophy. So difficult, we know, and obviously Seoul, obviously probably one of the better teams left in the competition. So all to play for, but quite a difficult draw there. I probably would have rather got Al Gharafa or Al Ain or even Guangzhou or Vajalta probably by rights. But yeah, we didn't end up winning that game, and so I will be back later on at the end of the season to show you what happened. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.